This, the sound design was like insanely good. I mean, if you're gonna make like good horror, like sound design has to be like really, really good.
It was good.
Then you get like the squelches and it's so great. So yeah, I'm gonna go be traumatized by that.
Which is the one?
Oh, are we live?
Oh yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we've been live, bro. If you're looking at YouTube, apparently it now has these community leaderboards and now there's XP
I was
for
just
posting.
looking at this. What is this?
I don't know. I haven't had it enabled on my channel yet.
No, I don't know. It just popped up randomly.
Yeah, I don't.
But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another well-rehearsed episode of Clickbait Sports. We are the fearsome foursome today, down one, Brandon Perna, joining us on this glorious journey today. We have 5 point vids. 5, what is going on, brethren?
I am chilling, man. I'm making videos about balls hitting stuff, so that's
fair. We will get into that a little bit later. To his right, we have none other than the American Yinzer, known as Urinating Tree. Tree, how goes it, brethren?
I'm doing all right, man. Just working on a few things right now. Just waiting for things to happen. That's why things haven't released. So it felt weird not releasing a video for 10 days, but that's why.
That is fair. And
you haven't had a release in 10 days.
We have the fourth fan of the year. He is the Packers version of myself. It is none other than Tom Daniel Grassi. Tom.
Hi.
What is going on, brethren?
Listen, Johnny Barks reminded me today. So 2 years ago today, we started filming for 30 and 30.
Oh, nice.
So
wow.
It's insane. Like,
it's already been 2 years.
That was not long ago, but it feels like it is eons ago.
I think it's been 3 years since we had our first Bros versus Pros, right, Five?
Oh,
yeah, it's been a while. Like that was 3 years ago as well. That was in 2022.
And then
how
23.
Long have we been doing this show is the better question.
I think since 21. Way too long. I'm surprised we lasted this long. I'm going to be completely honest.
I don't know how.
Likewise.
I don't know why.
Likewise. Of course, I'm your host, Scooter Magruder. We've got lots to talk about. Nothing related to the NFL, though. All other sports. We begin with the Oklahoma City Thunder punching their ticket to the finals tonight. The Indiana Pacers have a chance to punch their way to the finals. Have you guys been following this NBA news at all? Have you been watching the series? What's going on?
Well, as a Knicks fan, I have disappointedly watched the Knicks blow that game 1, and now they haven't been able to recover. They blew game 2, which was close, and then Halliburton is he's an assassin. And the Knicks were very sloppy with the basketball. A lot of turnovers last game. A lot of they're falling into the trap. The Pacers are playing like a college team, like a Shaka Smart, like full court press type pace. And the Knicks just can't keep up. And they've been sloppy. And it's probably going to end tonight. And it's been sad. We finally made a conference finals. It's been a long time. I think the last time they were there was 2000 when I still had hair back then. And it's just
we have
sad.
a picture of that. No?
Somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere there's a picture.
Tree or Tom, have you guys been there? It is.
We had the same idea.
Been watching the NBA finals.
Say that one more time, Scooter. I'm so sorry.
Have you guys been watching the NBA conference championships? Rather,
yes, I've been watching NBA and also NHL. So the Florida Panthers for the 3rd year in a row going back to the Stanley Cup Final. Dude, they were down 2-0. I was like, oh man, okay, the Canes, they showed up. Maybe they're going to keep this going, build some momentum. Oh boy, did they not. That just in an instant gone.
Absolutely. The state of Florida does run the NHL. Tampa Bay Lightning were holding it down. Seems like the mantle has been passed to the Florida Panthers. But Tree, thoughts on the NBA or NHL finals going forward?
My question is, do you think the Minnesota Timberwolves are in Galveston right now enjoying that dirty water? Dude, that was a clinic that got put. Like they lost game 4 in a heartbreaker, and then they just gave up. I don't know what happened there.
I've been saying this, and I think this is true for both NBA and NHL games in the playoffs. The games are either very close or they are this blowout, like 30-plus points.
Yeah.
Carolina it was getting belt to ass in that series against Florida. Like it was bad.
Dude, the first, like literally, I was watching hockey and I was like, oh yeah, like let me see like what Minnesota's doing, and it was like the end of the first, and they didn't even score double-digit points at that point. Yeah, it was rough. That was a rough time.
I think if the Pacers advance, that's going to be a good series between the Thunder and the Pacers. Maybe in terms of market size, not great.
Yeah. ESPN hates
tiny
that.
Market. Yeah, but I think that the Thunder can score with the Pacers, and you're going to have some extremely high-scoring games, extremely entertaining games. And Halliburton he's got ice in his veins. He's playing at another level right now. It's actually fun to watch. If he wasn't beating my team, I'd be all in on them. And in fact, if they advance, I'm rooting for the Pacers. Because
let me get your guys' thoughts on this specifically as it pertains to Halliburton. A lot of players in the NBA, a lot of fans have called him overrated. Do we think this is just a case of he plays in Indiana, he's not getting the proper airtime, people just haven't seen his game? What are your thoughts?
I feel like that has to be part of it, right? Because especially with some of these, these markets, their only time to shine is going to be like during the playoffs, right? Because they're finally going to get that coverage, and now the talking heads have to talk about him. But I mean, like if you've watched Halliburton play just this series alone, dude, like he has just been phenomenal. The Pacers, I have to say, like even though they hurt my Bucks, not the biggest fan, but holy crap, man. Like the way they've been playing basketball, it is super duper fun to watch.
Aaron Naismith, man.
Naismith's been amazing.
Yeah. Didn't they kind of say about Tatum last year, and then he goes out and wins a chip? Yeah. So either, sort of did they give that narrative for SGA, right? So one of them is going to end any type of discussion of overratedness.
Well, to be fair, I understand the Jason Tatum. There's no aura there with Jason Tatum. I forget who came and said a quote. Think about Kobe, you can picture in your head a certain moment. Think about Bron, you can picture in your head him doing the dunk. But when you think of Jason Tatum, nothing comes up in your mind. I think it was a quote similar to
Cowherd.
Yes.
No, it's Cowherd.
One of those guys.
But here's a follow-up question we'll see how deep your NBA basketball knowledge runs. If the Pacers win this game, would you say Halliburton is the best Pacer of all time?
Oh God, no, dude. Yeah, you've got a long way to pass Reggie Miller, dude. Nowhere close.
What do you mean a long way? He's done something that Reggie didn't.
Reggie Miller made the finals, dude. He made it in 2000.
Made the finals.
He did a minor finals.
He made the finals. He didn't win the finals. So
he was in an era of Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. You know how loaded that era was? There were a bunch of guys who didn't win rings in that era. Karl Malone, John Stockton, Patrick Ewing.
So,
dude,
it doesn't move the needle.
Charles Barkley.
If he gets the NBA championship.
I think it'll do something. I think the Pacers are going to love him. He'll be a folk hero. But you're talking about a guy who had been there for 15 years, was one of the, pretty much the Indiana Pacer.
He was. And we did see him share his ode to Reggie with
Hallie would have more. He would have to need more time. And I will say this, to be the devil's advocate, Hallie's skill set is more versatile and complete than Reggie. Reggie was a straight up shooter. He would come off curls and he had a quick release. He didn't have really a dribble move. Hallie does everything. If Hallie stays there for 10 more years and wins another chip, then yeah, he'd be the greatest Pacer. But you can't. For a Knicks fan, I should hate Reggie Miller. I actually honor and respect him because he talked a lot of trash and he backed it up.
He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry was in the league. Reggie was lethal from the 3-point line. Do we think the Pacers get it done tonight?
What's up?
Do we think the Pacers win tonight and advance to the NBA championship?
I think there's a pretty good chance. There's what are those tickets going for now? I mean, it's MSG, so it's going to be a cajillion dollars.
Let me look up that SeatGeek real quick. Use code SeatGeek, $20 off your first purchase.
They're probably going for lower than the standard. You know, I think when the Rangers were in the Stanley Cup final 30 years ago, it was like $10,000 a seat or something like that.
Dude, it's disgusting. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, it gets crazy.
The cheapest right now is $427 for nosebleeds.
Yeah, I'm seeing 401, but I mean, it's still like it's.
Imagine paying $400 to watch your team get eliminated.
If you want to sit
for the VIP
second row, it's $9,276. That is actually cheaper than game one. There was game one tickets going for $30,000.
Damn.
Damn.
But if it goes to 7, it'll go $30,000 again. If it goes to,
oh my God, yeah,
maybe even 40. That's a sound investment strategy.
The thing is, I feel like there could be some shenanigans in play, only because it benefits the league to extend this series. The Knicks, in a way, are somewhat like the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. Everyone loves them or they love to hate them, right? And they have the eyeballs. I got this thing right here. According to TNT, the Wednesday game at Madison Square Garden averaged 6.6 million viewers and peaked at 8.5 million viewers at 11 p.m. And that was, I forget what that was on pace with. Someone compared it to the Super Bowl numbers. I don't have the stats on hand though, but the point is
Super Bowl numbers.
The point is the Knicks are a big draw. We'll see how it plays out.
I think last year NFL preseason was average. There was like a game. I think it was like 4 million viewers. It's insane
for preseason.
It's wild
for preseason.
NFL is king.
They move the needle.
There is some potential trade.
Scooter getting a 50 dropped.
Drama.
Oh boy.
Some potential trade drama with your team tree. I don't know if you saw any of this news, but the Miami tight end and
Jonnu Smith.
Yes, Jonnu Smith.
Apparently they love Jonnu Smith.
Oh, Arthur Smith loves Jonnu Smith. He ran him nonstop in 2023. Like he was the one getting equal catches to the guys like Kyle Pitts and Drake London. He loves him some Jonnu Smith. My question is, where do you put him? Because I mean, Connor Hayward probably has to be gone after that, right? You have Pat Freiermuth, you have a few other guys as well, but Jonnu Smith, I don't know if he really makes a difference, but it's to appease Arthur Smith because he loves him some Jonnu Smith. Where's Matt Collins at? Bring him in as tight wide receiver 2.
Some people are saying this is just a smoke screen to pump up the value, the trade value for Jonnu Smith. Do you see that as something that's taking place here?
It'd be dope if Edmonton did it.
I mean, maybe, but once again, it's what else does Miami have a tight end right now? That's my question. I know Gesicki never really panned out there, but I mean, Jonnu Smith is nearing his late 20s, early 30s. How much time does he have left? So you're not going to get that much for him.
What would be the most you'd be willing to give up?
Yeah.
Especially considering he wants a new deal.
Probably a 4th or a 5th at best. I mean, you're not going to get more than that. Maybe a pick swap. Like that's really about it.
That's fair. Something else that we failed to talk about last week.
I don't know if they'll do that, but
during one of the rule changes, NFL teams now are allowed to onside kick at any time during the game,
as long as they're trailing.
Long as they are trailing. What are your thoughts on this?
Do they still have to announce it though?
Yes.
Do they still have to? Okay,
yes.
So you have to declare.
You have to declare anytime. It was previously only in the fourth quarter when trailing.
I hate onside kicks.
I don't understand why they ever changed it. Like they were so infrequent. You actually have like some amazing Super Bowl moments like Colts Saints where like you have a surprise. and it doesn't happen frequently enough, and the rate of success is so low. I don't understand them changing it and then going, okay, well, now let's change it back a little bit, but not full. I understand they're tinkering with it, but it just doesn't seem.
My thing is, why do you have to be trailing? Like, why can't I just onside kick if I want to? This is fundamentally going to change Madden as we know it.
Scooter
onside kick.
Scooter was one of those players that in Madden that figured out the glitch and would get 2 touchdowns and then onside kick and just never give the ball back to his opponent. And some little 10-year-old would rage quit in his living room and then cry to his parents and then spend more money on Ultimate Team.
I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations.
It just seems like if there's any rules to be changed, that's not the one that I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Like, who's actually complaining about, oh, they can just kick an onside? I could understand if you want to go, hey, onside kick only when you're trailing, fine. But you don't have to announce it. You don't have to do diddly squat. You can just kick it whenever you just have to be trailing. Fine. Okay. But other than that,
I think they're more or less worried about the player safety angle, kind of like the tush push, even though those are probably some of the more quote unquote just the chaos. That's why they changed special teams up. A, player safety. B, there were way too many touchbacks. So that's mainly the.
Speaking of player or NFL rule changes,
I was just about to click that. Yeah. So that's was he not there at practice today too? Because Vrabel was asked about like, hey, did you see that Stephon Diggs video?
For those unaware,
someone
bring us up to date on this Stephon Diggs on the boat video for those who didn't get a chance to see.
Let me look this up because I haven't seen it myself.
Well, first of all, let's preface this with the video of the Minnesota Vikings back in the day. If you recall, they were going around asking if there was anyone on the team who you would not want to date your sister. Who would it be? Your sister? I don't know if it was sister or daughter.
Yeah.
Your sister. I think it was sister. Who would you not want your sister to date? And it was a resounding Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs.
That's a pull, Scoot. That's a pull.
So here is the footage of Stephon Diggs with the shall we say pink powder. What do you think that is? That looks like cotton candy.
Yeah, that could just be a lighter or something in there. Is that powder? What is that?
Looks like something cut it too. I mean,
now this is clickbait sports. We're analyzing potential drug video.
Dude, this show is cursed anyway. Who cares?
We don't know what is going on in this this video.
Could it be nerds? We do know Big League Chew. It could be
nerds.
Nerds could be Viagra. Could be him.
What we do know is that Stephon Diggs was cited courtside with Cardi B in a recent NBA game. And so speculation is that they are now together and now boom, this video drops. And so people are speculating on what exactly is going on in that video.
Well, do you know who wasn't present at OTAs?
Stephon Diggs?
No, some guy named Micah Parsons, I don't think is going to OTAs. What's the deal with that, Scooter?
Listen,
is he holding out?
This is the tale as old as time. Okay? This is what we call Jerry special.
Also this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing out of the ordinary. It will get resolved or it won't, but it probably will, and it will probably happen right before the first game. This is just how we operate. I'm not sure why this is why we operate. Some surmise that it has to do with the ability of staying in the news cycle and how Jerry Jones just wants people talking about him all the time. If that's the case, it is working.
Around the horn is not going to get replaced by anything good, so...
Yeah,
that is insane. So Jerry just throws his pundits a bone by intentionally not signing his players so that we can talk about it. And
yes,
that is
I think
crazy.
so.
And so that he can remain relevant and in the news. That is insane.
Yes.
It's worth more. His publicity is worth more than what the effect on his bottom line. That is histrionic behavior right there. That is wild. If you know what histrionic means.
Is there any shot, Scooter? Is there any shot? Like take away like and I'm not even asking to troll. Is there any shot that Micah Parsons and the Cowboys don't get a deal done?
You mean like he plays this season on the current contract he has?
And or he gets moved?
Think about it like this.
You tell me.
When is the last time a superstar, Jerry Jones, let a superstar walk away?
Amari Cooper.
Okay. Is Amari Cooper a superstar?
No.
Or is he like a
first
step
round
under?
pick for him?
My point is this. Amari Cooper's no CD Lamb.
No.
Amari Cooper's no
Ezekiel
Micah
Elliott.
Parson. It's like a step under. Jerry Jones,
He won.
as long as Jerry's there and Steven's not in control, we are going to have superstar players because we got to sell the merch. All right, you got to think from a business perspective because that's how Jerry looks at it. Micah Parsons is one of the best-selling jerseys for the Cowboys. He will not be going anywhere anytime soon. Jerry's just milking this thing out.
Are you going to pay him over $40 million a year though? Because that's what's going to take.
Yeah, the market's pretty high for his skill set.
At what point is Trey Hendrickson going to get paid or wherever he's going to happen there, and then it's just going to cost even more money for Mike?
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking of the bank,
I fully expect
thing for
something like
Jerry.
that to occur. I fully expect the Bengals getting their deal done first, and then we'll follow and have to pay more money. Again, this is just the Cowboys way that we operate.
It's the price of knowledge. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll wait.
You know what's the funniest?
Go on.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. You know what's still funny to me? That Brian Schottenheimer is your coach. It's still like settling in. Like that's your coach. That's who you hired. That's the splash that you made.
Here we go. Your coach is Brian Dable.
He's coach of the year. He won coach of the year.
Hey, pick the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. Come on now.
You have 7 quarterbacks on your team. Your running back just won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and y'all paid Daniel Jones. There is nothing a Giants fan can ever say to me in the next 5 to 7 years. 5 to 7
Super Bowl wins, and I say that
come
at the cost of my team.
But. Yeah. What happened when in the 2008 when y'all were like the number 1 seed, and then I think Tony Romo and Jason Witten they went to Cabo.
You're the only team to get embarrassed as a my 7th seed.
Y'all talk about Cowboys fans living in the past. Eli Manning, he's on the Manning cast. Our future is bright. Y'all just drafted Jackson Dart, who was crying when he played the Florida Gators. He was crying. I saw tears.
There's Minnesota Vikings crying on the field.
He doesn't know how to take a snap under center. Your quarterback is Mason Rudolph. I know you aren't even laughing over there. What are we doing?
What about me? What about what?
Jordan Love is TBD. I'm not sold on him.
Jordan Love was getting TDs against the Cowboys last time they had the playoffs. So
safeties as linebackers. We've learned from our mistakes.
Sure.
We've learned.
That's why your defensive coordinator at the time is dominating Washington.
The Cowboys dominating
in Washington. Again,
that's a good one.
You want to talk about Dan Quinn? We could talk about Dan Quinn.
Dude, they've had more playoff wins than you've had in 10 years.
Listen, do playoff wins matter or do Super Bowl championships matter? You let me know.
Actually, here's the thing too. The Redskins, as they were at the time, actually only won 4 years before you, so it's not really much of a gap.
Do playoff wins matter or do Super Bowl wins matter? Because
actually,
to me,
honestly, they're tied with you in Super Bowl wins. They have 4.
We have 5. You need to fact check.
Oh my God, you have 5? Wow, you got to bring up Neil O'Donnell again? Go ahead.
We have 5 Super Bowl wins. That is a fact error. So let's just start.
Steelers have 6. No one gives a shit.
Listen, the point is this: out of every team here that is represented, the Cowboys have the brightest future.
No, actually, this guy does.
Absolutely not.
I think the Packers
or
the Broncos and the Packers.
Come on now.
Are you serious?
You guys are facing some cap issues. Dak is costing you money. CeeDee Lamb is going to cost you money.
We got George Pickens that literally
Micah
canceled out the Amari Cooper trade by acquiring George Pickens.
We're still talking about Amari Cooper.
My man, the only future that's going to be bright is the sun glaring in from AT&T Stadium because Jerry Jones wants God to see.
Right.
That will also be
the tints. I'm telling you right now, to get back to my former point, Dan Quinn had a very easy schedule last year. Go back and look at the record. Very easy. They won 6 games by 1 score or less.
Resilience.
No. You think that's going to happen again next season? No. It was a fluke season. It happens. Jaden Daniels is going to get exposed. I already forecasted this. The Cowboys will win the NFC East. Everything will be right in the world again.
You are coping and seething.
That is the Steelers, because your quarterback is Mason Rudolph, and you might
Steelers cannot talk.
Hey, I don't know.
I talk on the parts. I don't care. Look,
here's the thing, though.
We're talking about other sports, and we're still going off about what's terrible advertising.
Guys, we're talking other sports today. The Dallas Cowboys.
I'm just saying. I'm very defensive of my team.
So
I feel like there's a lot of misinformation that gets put out on. I think the Eagles are fraudulent still. They were at that time. They were
at that time.
At that time, they were fraudulent. I'm just saying. They did not look how they looked at the end of the season. When I made that comment, they looked very fraudulent.
We're counting
right before kickoff.
Then
right before kickoff in the Super Bowl, they looked very fraudulent.
Dude, you move the goalpost so much, you may as well be on their special.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is your quarterback is Mason Rudolph. That is my
I don't
answer
care.
to
Guess what,
anything you
buddy?
say to me.
Red-nosed reindeer.
I can see the Steelers. I can see the Steelers BSing their way to like 8 wins, even with Mason Rudolph. Like they'll find a way.
Unless Watt's injured or gets traded, like then it's like
What is the likelihood
get in
that Aaron Rodgers plays for the Steelers? Oh, that's also what we have to talk about. Aaron Rodgers made a statement. He's absolutely not playing with the Saints. He said,
no, he's not playing with the Saints. Mickey Loomis can't be bailed out of his own bad decisions. How terrible! They have to play Tyler Shuck.
Would
you rather have Mason Rudolph or Aaron Rodgers as QB1 starting the year?
Mason Rudolph, because quite frankly, there's no expectations with Mason Rudolph. When you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, you have the faux expectations of a guy who's torn his Achilles.
Oh man, I just got hit with the grid.
Oh no, you got a gritty. What a horrible feeling, Five.
Ready for the gritty.
Let's get those sexy legs in there. Look at those legs. Let's go. Save it for the OnlyFans, buddy.
Dang. Great. I should do like pull-ups or something. We've been hitting the calisthenics heavily. We've been hitting.
How many pull-ups can you do? I can do 8.
I can do 3 sets of 12 with 2-minute rest in between.
Thank you,
Matt. But it's hard though. With that being said,
are the real test.
Is there any other sports news that we've missed? What's that?
You do 8 pull-ups? How many?
I can do 8. I'm 48 years old. I can do 8 pull-ups.
That's very impressive.
Vertical.
Oh man, I'm 40.
And on the last one, I go all the way down until full extension, and then
are you locking your arms?
Yeah.
You're not doing that for all of them?
Full range of motion.
I mean, when I'll bounce, I'll go all the way down and
the momentum.
But on the last one, I'll stop and I'll just hang there, and then I'll do the 8th one from fully resting. So,
we have some baseball news.
Yeah, buddy. Alexis Diaz, the brother of Edwin Diaz, being acquired by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Diaz has been kind of struggling these last few years. He had a really good 2023 All-Star for the Reds, but I think it was a situation where the Dodgers, I think, have something like 14, 15 pitchers on the IL, as usual. So they just need bodies. And the Dodgers pitching machine is going to turn him into the next Michael Kopech, into the next Tanner Scott. and all those guys because it's what the Dodgers do. I don't know the return just yet, but this is just what Alexis Diaz.
Huge news in baseball, folks.
Yeah, he is
huge news.
He's in exchange for Mike Villani, their 2024 13th round pick. But as I said, like Alexis Diaz has not been doing well.
Yes,
Scooter. Last time you attended a baseball game.
Spent most of the years in the minors. This is a rehabilitation.
Last time I went to a baseball game was when I was in LA and I went to a Dodgers game. I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I've not been to
the Stadium's pretty lit.
More recently.
Woof.
Tom, last time you went to a baseball game. Was that during 30 for 30 when you threw out the first pitch?
Yeah, but I couldn't even stay for the game. So
you just threw the first pitch and left?
Yeah, I literally couldn't stay. Like I had to get the video out that night. So I was like, thank you so much. It was a doubleheader that night. Yeah, like I will say it's probably the game I keep referencing when I went to Colorado in like 2013. It was like 2013 or 2014. I went to go see the Rockies. Wow. Dude, I still haven't been to new Yankee Stadium.
You're not missing much. It's so It's not the same.
I have not been to New Yankee. I've been to Citi Field, but not New Yankee Stadium.
I'm so glad AAA. Good.
I haven't been to MetLife yet because it's just. Oh, sorry.
The other thing that
I'm in Milwaukee though. I will go to some Brewers games. Why not?
Oh wait, Tree. When's the last time you went to a baseball game?
I went to a baseball game last year. I believe last August was the last one I went to.
All right.
In PNC. Hold on, we got Pupper view art over there.
Oh. He's a pupper.
He's blind.
See, that pupper shows up in the clutch, unlike the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. Your quarterback is Mason Rudolph.
Oh no! You don't realize that, Scooter?
Like what? I shouldn't even be having conversations. Your quarterback is Mason Rudolph.
Who's your quarterback?
You're paying your quarterback $60 million a year, and he doesn't show up in the clutch.
$60 million
a year. You can't even. You can't. Scooter.
Purdy's worth 55.
Scooter.
Dak is worth 60.
Scooter.
Daniel Jones, $40 million.
Brock Purdy's 53. 1, and then 2. Come on.
Brock Purdy is 53.
Yeah.
Dak is 60.
He should not be 60. Joe Burrow is getting paid $55 million.
What should Dak be?
What? I think he should be about 55.
Okay, wait, we're talking about $5 million here. What are we doing? What are we actually doing?
That's not making fun of the Cowboys.
It's barely anything. Okay.
Oh, this is an easy $5 million. You know,
that's just
Does compensation determine value? Does compensation determine value?
I'm saying this.
But you have already claimed this, Scooter, that the only reason they're paying him $60 million is because they waited too long. Just like they wait too long on almost every single star player.
Yes.
Because they could have gotten back
this is also like a Ezekiel Elliott type situation too, where I don't know if you guys remember that, but we tried to look smart and we had a bit of a overpay with Zeke. So similar situation with Dak, except for Dak, I do think is worth it when you look at the rate other quarterbacks are going for. Again, if Brock Purdy is 53, okay, we can give Dak 60.
What about Joe Burrow, 55?
That's what I'm saying.
What is
$5 million?
It's a lot of money.
$5 million.
More money than I ever made.
Yes,
Patrick Mahomes,
but not to a football player though. Not for a salary cap situation. It's not really moving the needle anyway. You're not bringing in a key player for $5 million.
How many years was it for his contract, Dax?
I don't know. I have to look up.
5, 6.
You guys didn't really overpay for Ezekiel because he played center too for you.
Yeah, he was a very fine
center. 4 years.
Center of the organization.
Your quarterback is, first of all,
$20 million over the course of 4 years.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
It's $20 million over 4 years. It's good.
Go to the countdown right now.
Countdown?
No.
What?
No,
we're just going to cut it short. What is
this?
What is this?
One gorilla versus 100 men, also known as
this game is
everyone versus the Dallas Cowboys.
This is
covered January.
This is how I feel every spring. I'm the gorilla, and I'm just getting bombarded with foolishness.
Someone made that a game.
It's coming to Steam.
Yes.
You can pre-order it.
Clickbait off season, boys.
The loser has to play. The loser has to play that game on stream.
I haven't covered the McMahon Stadium is in. gosh, where is
it? Is the off season. I did not think we were going to do a show today. I was shocked when people
I
said
know that one's really. Oh yeah, that one's terrible.
Idea. Who wants
It's
Sydney
in Calgary.
Sydney Sweeney's bathwater now.
See,
Who wants a bathwater?
this is why I said go to the countdown, and y'all looked at.
We should have listened to Scooter.
Hey! Don't judge people on their fetishes. Some people might want that crap. More power to them. I don't know if I'd want it.
How much is it going per bar?
Let me take a look. See, it is going for. Hold on. Available on 6/6/25.
That sounds like a punishment. That sounds like a punishment.
Sweeney's bathwater soap.
Yep.
Oh, we can get a chance for when a only brick made with Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. Wow.
This is a legit promotion by Dr. Squatch.
This could
Apparently,
be
yes.
AI generated.
No, it's real.
We could be cooked.
No.
You know how much money it's going
Imagine bathing.
To talk about other sports for a hot second, though. Is Edmonton? They going today?
No, I mean,
Yes,
Florida is just a relentlessly machine that just.
I know. Is Edmonton winning tonight?
No, Edmonton versus Dallas. Do you think Edmonton gets past Dallas tonight?
That's been a fun series, though. It has been.
Dallas is just getting goalied. I think that's the real issue. My question is, how does Edmonton do without Zach Hyman? Because he's out for the rest of the playoffs.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I mean, Zach Hyman is a sandpaper kind of guy.
It doesn't matter who wins because the Panthers are taking it all.
You think Panthers are winning again?
Yes, they've been an unstoppable force, and they have yet to meet an unmovable object. So
they are ruthless. I called them that on my Twitter. They just don't give up. They get down. They're just like, oh, cool. We've been here before. And then they scored 3 goals before you know it. And then they went up 3-2. They gave up a game tire and they're like, we're cool. And then they got another goal late in the third. And they're just like, yeah, we don't care.
Like, are we literally just going to get a rematch of the Stanley Cup Finals from last year?
Yeah.
And you think it's going to be the same? Is it going to go to Game 7?
Probably same outcome.
No.
I mean, the funny thing is we just went from the NBA being no parity and the NHL being endless parity to the NBA being parity and the NHL with no parity. I mean, the NBA's had 8 different winners.
Yeah.
All right. I want to ask you something. I'm kicking this video idea around, and I got a panel of sports experts with me. Do you think that teams that lose now, that it's more by design, like that it's almost on purpose, like that really bad teams? Yeah, no, not just tanking, but like somebody's got to lose. And
anytime you have Mason Rudolph as your starting quarterback,
oh boy,
you are tanking. That's what I think the Steelers are actually doing here. They're tanking for Arch. It's really
Steelers don't tank. That's the
really
worst part.
ingenious.
They don't get rid of their coaches. They don't
they don't fire coaches. RD2 lives in his own fears. He is our John Mara. He does not tank. He's more interested in the
but what's crazy is the Steelers are like the exception to the rule. Almost every team that you've seen over the years has gone through a just ass period where they lose.
Packers literally in 30 years.
Went through an ass
when Aaron
period
Rodgers was out, like he got
early
hurt.
2000s.
Literally, it's been like 30 years.
But the Steelers were ass from like the 30s to the early 70s. Like they were bad for a long time. They were the punching bag of the league.
We were garbage during the Dave Campo years. I don't know if you guys remember that. Those were
the Dave Campo years. Are we doing PTSD? Is that your worst feeling? Oh no, I had to deal with Dave Campo. It's like us bitching.
I also want to believe that the teams that are consistently bad want to be consistently bad. And
do you believe you're in the dark times now for the Giants right now, 5?
Yes, for sure. But I don't see a plan to get out. Like, I don't know why they're doing it this way. But
for the Giants, I feel like their defense could be problematic this year. And if they if Dart's not the guy, like, and they're in a position
Dart's not the guy.
Okay.
He is not the guy.
If he's not the guy, like, I do feel like them building that pass rush, like that D line was already pretty good. You're rebuilding your secondary after losing McKinney. So I feel like if that defense is a top 10 unit, like that, at least something is to build off of. And hell, maybe you have a running game, then you're just like the old Giants, like they used to just run the ball and, play really good defense. So I see the vision.
We got Cam Scatterber.
I see the vision. There's like some teams where I'm like, ooh, okay, they're kind of just in this
Which teams do you not see the vision right now, Tom?
The Saints, I feel like, are in a tough spot. I feel like the Saints they can get better. You know, with Carr being gone, I just think that this year is going to kind of be a wash. And if they have a really good draft, then they can turn it around. I think they just need some more like superstar players, and I feel a little bit better about them. But
are there any other teams you just don't see the vision? What are they doing?
There's so many that there's contingent. Like the Dolphins are
on Tua.
It's all, I feel like when we say this every offseason, it's all on Tua, right? And if that doesn't work out, like the Jaguars are another team. Like they went through some turnover as well. They have, but they're trying to do stuff, but Trevor's got to be the guy too. So I feel like it's not that I can't see the vision. It's just contingent. Even with the Cardinals, I love what they did on defense. But Kyler Murray, like, is he going to be the guy? Martin Harrison Jr. going to break out this year? Like, the thing is, like, you could have all these great draft picks, but they have to work out.
Yeah. I mean, Atlanta is like in a weird spot too, especially if Penix doesn't pan out. And they've had a lot of risky moves, trading the first round pick for the 26 overall selection as well. Crazy. I mean, Pitts hasn't really panned out. So it's more or less just you're hoping that you can finally break through and not crumble away. So I've been saying they were the favorites to win their division for the last 2 years, and they've just
The Saints, man, Jay Cool. I'm not crapping on the Saints just to crap on them. I just don't. There's so many things that is contingent on. I just don't think they're going to be. They're in a weaker division, but I think they're finishing last in the division. I don't think that's a hot take.
Yeah. I don't know why they drafted Tyler Shuck or whatever Tyler Show. I have no idea why they drafted this man. He has 27 injuries. He's 32 years old. There's where I'm looking. What is the vision there? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Mickey Loomis. He's desperately trying to keep his job. That's the reality.
Mickey Loomis is also just not good.
Yeah, Mickey Loomis has been bailed out by a
Kellen Moore wanted that,
7 years.
apparently. This was Kellen Moore's guy. So I don't know what Kellen Moore is doing. I'm glad he's not on the Cowboys, though, staff anymore.
Weren't you lamenting Kellen Moore leaving for a little bit? Like you were praising his the ground he walked on for a long time.
Yes, and then no. Things change rapidly in the NFL.
Very true.
Mm-hmm. 1 year you have Russell Wilson as your quarterback. The next you have Mason Rudolph.
Buddy,
and
your coach is Brian
Wilson.
Schottenheimer, dude.
Your quarterback is made like it doesn't.
Your coach is Brian Schottenheimer.
That's a clean slate. You can't say anything positive or negative. You have no idea what this man is about to do.
He was never good as an offensive coordinator. He's a terrible track record. He never called
plays.
Which
has no bearing on how he's going to be as a head coach. No bearing. Everything you mentioned has nothing to do with how he's going to be as a head coach. He could be built for this. I hope he is.
Okay. Can we
real quick. Okay. Just Scooter. What is your prediction for where within the division the Cowboys finish this year?
Cowboys are winning the division at 12-5. Eagles are coming in second. Commanders are coming in third. Giants are competing for the first overall pick again. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Hold on.
That is my prediction.
You've gone through this last year.
You went through their schedule. You think 12-5.
12-5 for the Cowboys. We do have a hard stretch. Where we play 6 teams that won 10 or more games. So if we can get 3 of those, 12-5.
12-5.
I've been saying 12-5 for the last 4 years, dude.
What's that?
I've been saying 12-5 for the last 4 years, dude.
Because 3 out of those last 4 years we went 12-5. Tree. That's why. I'm going based off history.
History, yes.
History. Last year, our quarterback 1 went down. That's what happened last year. And the years previous, 12-5. 12-5.
And then the Packers came along and said, "Oh,
okay." Same question to everyone here.
Yeah.
How is your division going? What place will you be in? Who's going to win? Who's going to come in last place? Tom, take us through.
I think the Packers will be fighting. I mean, I want to see what that pass rush looks like. Jair, maybe. It's been good news so far this week. We'll see if he winds up coming back. That offense should take a step. So I feel like we'll be competing for first place, but I could see them finishing second. The Vikings, I think, have an awesome supporting team, but they have a rookie quarterback, like they have JJ McCarthy. So you just don't know, right? Like that's a big component of it. The Bears, they look to have improved during the offseason. I don't know if they're going to win the division. I think they're going to be fighting around there. So I think we'll be around second place.
Who's winning the division?
I think the Lions still have a decent chance if their coordinators are good.
Lions
they have a lot down on their team. However, that Jared Goff cap hit is coming.
So you got Lions, Packers, Bears.
Again, Vikings could be up there. I just don't know with JJ.
JJ is a wild card because he's coming off injury.
He's a super wild card. I mean, even with the Bears, though, right? Like, they got a good supporting staff now. They went and did all the right thing. I actually love, Saints fans, cover your ears. I actually love Dennis Allen, like, as the defensive coordinator for the Bears, because I don't think he's the great head coach, but he's a good defensive coordinator. So I think it's going to be a super competitive division. I think it's going to be super fun. So Packers could take a step.
Let's see how it plays out. Tree, take us through.
It's going to be a gauntlet.
I believe the Ravens are the class of the division. That's the reality of the situation. Unless they find a way to beat themselves, but they haven't really done that until January for the most part. And I feel like they finally solved the perplexity of being unable to beat the Steelers for whatever God knows the reason. The real competition for the AFC North is going to be between the Steelers and the Bengals. I don't know what happens with the Bengals, because what happens with Trey Hendrickson? What happens with Shamar Stewart? He's still in a holdout there. What happens with the rest of their defense? I mean, the Cleveland Browns, they're in a deep rebuild. That's the reality of their situation. And it may get to the point where they're starting Shedeur Sanders and he's throwing for 4 picks every game. But until that point, I think it's going to be either second or third for the Steelers in the AFC North.
Oh, you think they're going to finish second?
No, potentially. It depends on the Bengals.
With Mason Rudolph at quarterback.
Ooh.
The division's not that strong this year.
I think the Ravens still, the
Ravens get first.
It runs through Baltimore.
As I said, it's between Steelers and Bengals. That's my thing.
You think Joe Burrow is coming in third place potentially to Mason Rudolph?
He has no defense. That's the problem. That's the same reason they fell to third last year. No defense.
Let's see how it plays.
And Trey Hendrickson was the only person that could do anything there.
Well, at least Shamar Stewart's been playing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, very, very active in OTAs.
5. Just go ahead and confirm what I've already told the people that's happening.
Yeah, the Giants will win the division. The Eagles will finish second.
Okay.
The Commanders will finish third, and the Cowboys will be competing for the number 1 draft pick overall.
Don't let us get arch. Don't let the Cowboys get arch.
Why would you get arch? While you're paying Dak $60 million
in Texas? Listen, you got to think like Jerry. Think like Jerry. A Texas quarterback
he
from
would draft
Texas.
Arch if you if you had a 3-win season, yeah, they would draft Arch 100%, and they would cut Dak and just be like, "Yep, sorry."
Yeah, Scooter would still spin as a success.
Did y'all watch the Indy 500 talking?
I mean,
I did. That guy won it for the first time. Yeah, there was a lot of crashes on pit row
early on.
Like a lot of crashes.
There was a crash in the pace car lap.
Okay, but 5, really, what is the NFC East? Like your accurate prediction?
Oh, the Giants are finishing dead last. We're not there yet. The only thing that I could see is maybe the Giants and Commanders flip-flop, because maybe the Commanders don't get as many lucky breaks as last year. And then, maybe the Giants win 7 games and the Commanders win 6. But I'm not that optimistic. Would you even
want to do that, though? Like, do you want to win? That's like the worst thing you could be is a 6.
You got to be trending up.
Team.
Yeah, that it is, but like you got to be trending up so that you can attract free agents that might want to come. You want to keep Dable and Shane and play. If the Giants win only 3 games next year, you're starting over again, and you don't want that. You want to be improving, and so if we can squeeze out 6-7 wins and have a mid-round pick, because we got a good defense, we just need to put the offense together.
So who's coming in first in the?
You think
NFC
the Eagles
East?
are winning the division 5?
I think the Eagles will win the division. I do not buy this cowboy copium, as they put it.
I think the Cowboys can come in second. I think that's very possible.
Yeah.
So no one here thinks the Cowboys can come in first.
No.
Could they? Sure. Do I think they will?
They could. They could.
Give me a percentage of your confidence.
The Eagles would have to have a major Super Bowl hangover.
What's your percentage that the Cowboys can come in first in the NFC East?
I go 20, maybe.
5,
15%.
10 to 15.
There's literally a 67% chance. It's 67% chance.
There's going to be 25%.
There's going to be a hangover, a Super Bowl hangover.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh,
Scooter math.
The
a lot of it
Commanders
is going to be contingent. Do you have a pass rush this year? Right? Like, is a guy like Ezraku going to make a big difference there? Is everyone going to stay healthy and you actually have a run game? Right? Like, those are going to be the difference makers.
Honestly, here it is. The Great Wall of Tyler is being established in Dallas. We are going to have a run. Here's the problem. Okay. This is me being 100% truthful with everyone here. The problem is Dak was asked to do everything, literally everything. Jerry said, we paid you $60 million. Now you got to go and do everything on your own. Okay. This is in sharp contrast to Jalen Hurts, who doesn't have to do anything. He can turn around, hand the ball to Saquon. He has a wide receiver 1 and a wide receiver 2. Oh, and by the way, one of the best defenses in the NFL. That's what Jalen Hurts has. Dak didn't have any of that.
How to run their team, dude. Your GM is Jerry Jones.
But now we have George Pickens. Okay, you can't double CD.
He's gonna fight Mike on the sideline.
George Pickens did not do well. Tree is going to be merciless, and I want to be able to say
I'm going to be like me against Bears fans when they were trying to defend.
When he does do well on the Cowboys, because he's meant to be a Cowboy, he didn't want to live in Pittsburgh. Who would? It's too cold.
Whoa!
We bring him over.
Hey, DK, I enjoyed the one.
Cold. Why would a receiver?
Looking at sports, Jared Goff's cap hit in 2026 is $69 million. Everybody talk about that. That's what I gotta rely on. Oh, the Cowboys. Will they be in first? Will they be the one?
How about them?
Tom can sing. Tom's got pipes. I've never heard Scooter sing. Can you sing?
Oh,
Scooter?
I did. Scooter sang for the Millie stream.
Oh. Yeah.
I did. I made $125.07. Thank you very much.
Nice.
I made $87.93.
Oh God, we all talked at the same time.
19.
What?
What'd you make?
I made $72.19.
Okay, Scoot.
Oh crap!
I made $87.93.
How'd you make 87? You had like a 50.
I thought you got 130. Tree.
Yeah, 130.
Let's go.
Sydney Sweeney. Sweeney's bathwater. And
do I have to be a good
you to take a video of you showering with Sydney Sweeney's bathwater.
Oh Lord. Okay, well.
How much is that bar?
I don't know. I have to check.
I think what you have to do is get the bar
with
soap.
the bar and Head and Shoulders.
I mean, I do have Head and Shoulders.
Just. Can you, if you are able,
I'm not actually going to show myself showering.
If you can get your hands on it, can you do an advertisement for like make a video? It could be like 30 seconds. It's like just some
type of tribute to Sydney Sweeney and her.
Oh, dude, smokers, delicious smokers. Oh, dude.
Okay.
I'm Therese Halliburton, but with Sydney Sweeney smokers. Let's go.
What? We just got demonetized again.
What do you guys have coming out?
I have.
This is why we don't do it 2 weeks in a row.
100% unbiased NFC East tier list coming out.
Completely unbiased
tonight.
Yes, very unbiased.
Tomorrow. I'm dead serious. There's facts.
Are you gonna play games again with Shane? Because that was. Are you gonna
do more of that? Gaming with my wife will return.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have to call it something else because the titles are not working, but it's coming back.
Okay. All right.
That's what we got on the way. 5. What's coming out? What the hitting?
I'm either doing MLB pitchers hitting weird objects or weird baseball fields in Japan.
Ooh.
They might have some weird baseball fields in Japan. I'm gonna start researching soon.
There you go. Trey.
So there's that.
I'm working on a few things right now. Pittsburgh Pirates video. I'm also working on Hater's Guide to the Stanley Cup Finals and NBA Finals. So those all should be out within the next week or so.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to see a movie tonight, so that's what I'm doing. And then Q&A tomorrow, probably GPS and probably a skit.
There you go.
I'm working on Coach, so I'm
okay.
Off
season, baby.
Spicy White Giants rookie running back Cam Scatterbo says he comes from ghetto-ness, identifies himself as a little bit hood, a little country.
He is
This
from
has been
Sacramento.
Clickbait Sports, ladies and gentlemen.